So I didn't go out. I just like work here. The only balcony I can just go out like to breathe like fresh air. I'm very deep in this industry since 2017. Before this, I was working in IT industry on different products, software products. Before this, I graduated like physics university. I got master in physics, and this why I actually like switch quite easily to IT industry. But I think the most interesting part of my life has actually happened like since 2017 when crypto industry like started booming, and I actually got interest in the blockchain technology itself. So we're going to talk about this deeper further. But since beginning of 2018, I'm working actively on privacy tools for blockchain-based assets. And in one phrase, to explain what I'm actually doing with our team is we're building privacy mode for like your cryptocurrency and blockchain-based assets, which are gonna work in the same way as you do with a web browser, right? You can just do one click and then you hide your wallet balance, you hide your transaction history, and you don't link your like, for example, like just a real life example. My friend asked me to send him, I don't know, 50 USDT, and I have USDT, right? But on this Ethereum wallet, I also have Ether, I also have other tokens, like some kind of investment. And if I do this transaction, I actually link my main wallet to my friend, and which I actually don't want to know him to know actually my balance and the transaction history. So this is the, like just basic use case. And if you use Incognito wallet, which is already live, you can send the same 50 USDT without linking your balance and without linking your like past history of your transaction. Yeah, so this is what we do, like trying to bring privacy in blockchain space. Oh, actually, this is like fun because last time you had a chance to ask me this question and I started answering before we got interrupted. But then to be honest, I rethink this because I couldn't have imagined about the blockchain technology when I was 5 years old. So the answer is definitely no. And another thing which I keep in mind, to be honest, like 99.99% of the planet population has no idea about this kind of technology and this kind of work in general right now. Yeah. So in this case, we are like quite unique, and it wasn't what we were talking in the beginning. So you just face the situation. This technology is invented, and you just like jump in to develop this technology.
Yeah, that's true. And how would you try and describe blockchain to a 5-year-old today?
Yeah, this is also quite interesting question. I usually my first try was with my like my friends, and then I also have a younger brother, which is like who is 6 years old. So I actually like facing this situation in real life. And like usually when I talk with more adult people, I use example of emails. But when I talking with kids, I use example of like let's assume that like my 6 years old brother, he actually knows how to use mobile phone. He knows how to use like not laptop but tablet, right? So he always playing this, and he knows how to make photo. So let's assume that he is actually like active user of these devices. And let's say if you like shoot yourself on the device, you make a photo of yourself, right? And if you send this photo to your mother, then your mother will have a photo and you will have a photo. So in digital world, like when you send something, it's actually just copy themselves and sending not itself, but sending like copy, like twin brother, right? And every time you send digital objects, you making a twin brothers. And like blockchain technology is which works in totally like opposite way. If you use like blockchain technology and you send object in the like internet or like digital object, you actually send itself this object. And just imagine you like make photo of yourself and you send to your mother, and then she has your photo and you doesn't have anymore this photo. So I probably like would this kind of example to explain how you can actually move digital like objects. Okay, some fun. There's maybe like two totally different facts. The first one is actually, which you do not learn from my CV, is that level of my confidence of what we are doing and of the blockchain technology itself. So I have such confidence when I don't have any doubts that in 5, 10, I don't know, 15 years, this technology like will be everywhere. And this is going to be the like only way of like transferring, like which I told on like the previous question. There will be a way when people like transfer digital objects between each other, between entities, and I'm like 100% this is why actually I'm spending like 3 years of my life already in this like industry, and I'm confident that it's going to be like even like further. So I'm confident that there's going to be some kind of globalization, that the people will be closer, transfers like will be easier, and I also super confident in terms of when this globalization is happening, the privacy will be one of the main things actually for the like digital financial world. And this why even if right now people not take it seriously, because people still have cash, right? If you like go to the coffee shop, you pay in cash and you are still not traceable. But when like the whole society become cashless, then people actually start experience this kind of problem when the advertiser will send them ads which they don't like because they bought coffee in the corner, and then they just got like bunch of advertisement to like buy something related to this. And maybe like another thing which is not obvious, because I believe in privacy and I believe in this freedom, like my long-term goal is actually to come back in Ukraine and try to change Ukraine and the whole nation in general. I have like couple plans how Ukraine actually as country can grow up like very fast, and so yeah, my plan is actually to lead this kind of like development of the country, which is not obvious and which I try and do not mention in my CV because it's not yet. Also, it's also like planned for like 5-10 years. Firstly, before we go in that like politician chapter of my life, I need to finish the blockchain chapter first. So we need to build like international like huge project which can power privacy to the whole planet. And then with this like background and with this experience, I could come to like smaller project like only in like national base and just do it there. Actually, so this is also coming from the previous questions, because I'm like super confident in what's going to happen. I don't know actually how to reach that goal yet, but I'm confident that it's going to happen. So technically, I even don't need to self-motivate myself. So I always wake up with that kind of goal. And the only thing I need music. Usually when you listen, when I listen music, I focus and like become more productive. In this case, you know, you're just making abstract and you focus on your work. And in this term, 90% of my time I listen classic piano hits, like the Chopin. My favorite is Chopin. I just like enjoying this, and it's boost like my productivity like so much. But I always try and do not like show it to the people, because many people like don't understand, but it really works. Like when you go to this like vibes, and super cool. Maybe I'm like other millions people right now, but I feel for my case, I mean, I understand that the like that Corona problem is quite serious, but in my case, I just trying to find the right way of this, and I stuck in my apartment for like past 20 days, so I didn't go out. I just like work here. The only balcony I can just go out like to breathe like fresh air. But I already like 20 days in my self quarantine, and I going to stay like 14 days more. So to be honest, when I like thinking like how would I remember this time, I would remember it's like quite fun time, because it's never happened for me before when I stuck in one place for so long, and it's really interesting experience of like self-thinking. Like you think a lot about yourself, about many problems, asking yourself questions. You have a lot of time. It's a really interesting time, to be honest. I think it's probably like two different directions. If you like super new and you want to learn like about blockchain, so I definitely do not recommend you to watch YouTube videos which tell you like which coin you should buy and when to buy, because this kind of advices they just doesn't work. Nobody can predict price of any kind of coins, and especially if they tell it publicly, there is something wrong for this. So definitely do not use these advices. You can watch for sure the like videos with interview with Vitalik, probably Andreas Antonopoulos. These guys, they actually talking about fundamental, about the technology itself, and I don't know if like it's self-advertisement, but the idea of our like node device, you remember? I'm sure if I show you.
Yeah.
The device which we actually built, we make this device for actually non-crypto people who want to try themselves. And technically, if you get this device, it's computer, right? It's like machine which can be used for minting some kind of coins, or it can be, let's say, if you start minting, then you don't like it, then you just like sell it further, and technically you're like in profit, because you get in hardware, and then you like selling the hardware. But the cool thing of this device is that you don't need to buy any kind of crypto, especially on the beginning when you don't understand the like what is the crypto, right? And a lot of people get scammed on the beginning because they just purchasing some kind of shit coin. I mean, most of the crypto is shit coins, to be honest. In long term, the price of most of cryptocurrency going to the zero, which we should also like understand. And if you new user, okay, just give me like, maybe you will not add it, but I will just explain you how I feel it. Let's say if you're like newcomer, like if you, because I explain it to my mother as well. If you're a newcomer, you just get device, right? Then you can touch it. You know, like for what you pay, and like you can feel it. And then this device actually start generate you some kind of cryptocurrencies on your wallet, right? And it's actually like tapping like some crypto on your wallet. And then when you already have this kind of coins, even one coin or two coins, you can start using other crypto services in the internet, and you exploring. And in this case, if you like losing that coins, you actually like not losing money, but you lose like some kind of time. So it was not our idea, like why we create this device. Yeah, just to sum up. But in terms of if you want to just learn about this. Watch videos with Andreas Antonopoulos and Vitalik. And his book, like Mastering Bitcoin and Mastering Ethereum, is very good, actually. There's everything about blockchain technology. To be honest, I was thinking about this, and I think my answer is, in my case, yellow is association with something like good and nice. So I imagine yellow, like if you imagine the situation when it's like super hot day, right? Very hot, it's middle of the summer, I don't know, and you staying under some kind of big tree, right, where it's like not that hot, and you eating your favorite ice cream, and this momentum is actually yellow because there's hot, but you still like feeling so good because you eat your favorite ice cream. So in my case,
Wow.
this is like also really cool thing. My opinion that money is not existed itself. So it's money. It's only thing which we believe in our brains, and if you think in this direction, that money actually doesn't have color. It just is like our imagination. I don't know. When you have mental problem, you imagine some other things. When you don't have mental problem, you imagine that money is like this kind of papers, right, which has value. But in real life, money can be papers. It can be like mobile application when you send something. It can be credit card. So it just think which we believe. And important moment here, like just to confirm, let's say if you take like Vietnamese VND, like right, the pack of VND, and then fly to Brazil and will try to explain people that this is the money, they actually will not trust you, because for them, money is another thing, right? So in my opinion, like money is the thing which some people in some territory believe in this. It can be, I don't know, this can be money, or this glass can be money. If you was born and your parents told you that this is the money, then you will feel that this is the money.
Right.
So in this case, it's just imagination.
Right now.
Okay, thank you for the invitation. Let's do it.